Hello and welcome back. It's puzzle time with Sudoku Sleuth, and today we're going to be playing Fogestan. You probably have already figured this out, not necessarily just from the title, but also with the fog covering this mystical place in the background. We are onto yet another fog puzzle. Megan 033 is just knocking them out. Now, fingers crossed, because I've had quite a few clumsy or lucky solves recently. I'm actually going to do this one justice, or maybe I should be sort of hanging up my shoes, so to speak, when it comes to solving Sudokus. Fingers crossed I can still do this and actually deliver something that is logically flawless, let's put it that way. Now, with a title like Fogestan, it's kind of hard to represent a whole country, so I think this is sort of a decent attempt at it. Initially I thought, well, that looks a bit too much like a step pyramid, as you might see in Mexico and Latin America, but at the same time you could actually almost see it more like a ziggurat, sort of the ancient temples around Babylon time, so kind of fits in the region of Central Asia where there are a lot of stands. Anyhow, enough of all of this. I have a challenge, I'm going to solve it, and fingers crossed you will with me too. Let's take a look at today's puzzle and rule sets with Fogestan by Megan 033. Actually, ironically, here is a pyramid base in the center, so maybe. Rules-wise, so let's have a look. It seems like all the rules, I'm just making that assumption based on the fact that the last one is the fog, so all the rules are actually visible. We're not going to have to use any creativity to walk through the rule sets. We've got normal Sudoku rules apply, place the digits 1 to 9 once each in every row, every column, and every 3x3 box. That is standard. Digits along a magenta renban form a set of consecutive, non-repeating digits in any order. So if you imagine that this cell, for example, is definitely not a C, but a 2, hang on, this is very dangerous, lowercase, middle, center digit 2, essentially the following two cells are on the renban could be 1, 3, so that they are 1, 2, 3, a consecutive set of non-repeating digits. Of course, I could also have 3 and 4, so 2, 3, 4, that would work. What I couldn't do is have 2, 3, 5. That is no longer a consecutive set. Now, in this particular case, obviously the renban is in the same box. They don't have to be. So if you imagine that this was actually crossing the box and there's another, continuation of that renban line going in here, I couldn't have 2 and 2 that is repeating. It's got to be unique digits. Next, we have adjacent digits along a green German whisper line must have a difference of at least 5. If this cell is a 2, the following neighboring cells on the German whisper line would have to be 7, 8, or 9, so that they are 5 or more away. If that was a little bit longer, I would remind you that German whisper lines oscillate between low and high digits. Low, such as 6, 7, 8, 9. High, such as 6, 7, 8, 9. Low, such as 1, 2, 3, 4, and then back and forth. No 5s in that list. I'm sure you can determine why that is the case. We also have arrow sums. So the digits along each arrow must sum to the digit in the circled cell. If these cells, for example, are 2 and 3, alongside this arrow, they sum up to 5, which is what I would have to enter inside the circle attached to the arrow. So whatever the arrow is, the sum will have to be inside this circle. We've got crop key dots and X's, no V's, just X's, okay. So let's talk about crop key dots first. So you can see the white dot and there are black dots. Okay. So let's imagine for a second that this is, we don't have to imagine, this is a white dot. So if this cell was a 2, they have to be consecutive when they're joined by white dots. So this would have to be 1 or 3. If this one over here was actually black rather than white, you can see that dot escaping into that adjacent cell. If that was a 2, this would have to be 1 or 4, so that the cells connected by a black dot have to be in a 2 to 1 ratio. One cell is double the other. No negative constraints. So a 2 with a 4 in here, clearly a 2 to 1 ratio. No black dot, not a problem. A 3 in here, no white dot, also not a problem, even though they're consecutive. We have X's, adjacent cells with an X must sum up to 10. If that is 2, this would have to be an 8 to make sure that these two cells add up to 10. It doesn't mention negative constraints. I'm going to assume it doesn't apply, and therefore that this could be an 8, even though there is no X joining them. Last but not least, this is why you guys are all here. The grid is partially covered with fog, correctly placing digits with will clear the fog around that cell. So that cell is correctly a 2. All of the neighboring fog-covered cells will be revealed and hopefully give us more clues to be able to proceed. And no guessing is required from Megan. So that's all the rules we have for today. So if you want to play along, link will be in the description down below for you to do so. And with that said, I'm going to restart the clock and see how I get on. So let's talk about parities for a second. Parity, polarity. I don't know whether this is low or high. I know that it will oscillate between the two. So if you imagine that this is orange, this would be, I'm going to go with yellow, and then back to orange. So if this is high, this will be high. If this is low, this will be low. When it comes to 10, I know that they have to be one of each. So if this is yellow, let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, its partner would have to be 6, 7, 8, 9, so that they can actually join up. And then lastly, and this is actually going to be very helpful now, this cell here, whilst it could have been a 5, essentially I could have something like 3, 4, and 5, I can't because it's on an X. So I need a cell that is consecutive with these two to form a consecutive set. But I know it can't be a 5, otherwise I will end up, I'm comfortable actually writing large digits because it's not going to break. I would have to have a double 5 to add up to 10, which obviously would break. So this cell has to be orange. I don't have a 5 here, I don't have a 5 there, and therefore the consecutive one belongs to the same polarity. And this is now immensely helpful, as you can see, because I have placed 4 of the polarities. And the reason it's helpful is actually, weirdly enough, the arrow sum. Actually, I may as well place the yellow in here. We know that an X is one of each. Now, because I don't have any more oranges, I know that at a minimum I have 2 yellows. That's an absolute minimum. And yellow can't be a high digit, because if they are, so if I try, if you make the assumption that orange is low, then these 2 cells are at least high, as in 6, and 5. That's 11. I'm not going to be able to write 11 in here. So orange absolutely has to be high, and that's red. Yellow absolutely has to be low, and that's blue. I'm not going to be able to place 2 digits that, including a 5. So let's say 3 and 5, or even 1 and 5, that add up to a low digit. So that has to be the 5, and these 2 are low digits. And, a very long way of saying we have a break-in, but it took me a while. Right, where do we go from here? So we have 2 cells that add up to 5. So this is 6 or 9. Let's try it this way. This is a consecutive set of 3 high digits. That could be 6, 7, 8. That could be 7, 8, 9. This cell here, if this is 6, that would be 4. And if it's 9, it would be 1. And of course, in a German whisper line, a 4 and 6 are the most restrictive, obviously aside from the 5 that can't be on there. If that's 4, this would be a double 9, and then I would break Sudoku. So that has to be 1, that has to be the 9, to stand the chance of being able to place digits in here. Now, sadly, I can actually go for 6, 7, 8. In fact, this would be 6, I'll show you why. We know that these 2 cells add up to 5. 1, 4 is no longer available, this is 2, 3. So that means that this is a 4, this is a 6, and now these are 7 and 8. We can use this white dot briefly. If that's 2, that can't be 1. It would have to be 3. If that's 3, that could be 2 or 4. I'm not sure I want to follow through with that just yet. 7 and 8, this is 6, 7, 8, 9. Too many options. May end up coming back to this a little bit quicker than I was hoping. Am I going to do this? I may as well. Don't know what these are. We're going to go back to, what was it I picked? Orange and yellow. You can see that these German whisper lines are kind of disappearing into the fog here diagonally. Same on this side. So these are going to be the opposite polarity. And then the X, of course, this is another yellow digit, whatever yellow is. Which helps us because in row 5, I've got 3 yellow digits, just based on what we've done with the German whisper line and the X. Now, if yellow was high, as in red, I've already got 1, 2, 3, and there'll be 4, 5, 6 high digits. That's not going to happen. I don't want to color this. No, I'm going to go with yellow is blue, orange is red, and actually I've got all the low digits now in here. Interesting. This is 7, 8, or 9. It can't be 6. This is 7, 8, or 9. Can't be 6. This is helpful. 1, 2, 3. So 3s do not belong on here. If I had a 3 on a black croquet dot, the double would be 6, not 1, 2, or 4. So no 3s, no 7. And because it's 1 and 2, with 2 and 4, one of these has to be a 2. That's 3, that's 2 or 4. That can never be a 2 anymore because I don't have the neighbor of 1 or 3. So that is now 3, that is now 2. This is still 2 or 4. In fact, that 2, if I paid attention, would have given me a 1 in here, a 2 in there, and 9 in here. Fantastic. This is 3 or 4. Either works, by the way, next to the 9. And this is again 3. No, it's not 4. 9 looks across. That's not 9. The neighbor, therefore, can't be 4 because 8 and 7 are both too close. That is a 3. That can't be 7. That is an 8. This is 1, 2, or 3. This is also 1, 2, or 3. Can't be 3. 3 and 4 in the column. This is 1 or 2. This, if I end up with a 1, 2 pair, I can actually put a 7 in here. So this is 7, 8, or 9. And the German whisper line ends. And yeah, like I'm really liking the fact that I've gone for a ziggurat-like shape, given the pyramid we're unveiling. This is quite lucky. I'm okay with luck being that I have a well-themed thumbnail, as opposed to getting lucky with guesses in the Sudoku solve. So 3 is in here. I mean, that can't be 3 anymore. Come on. Yeah, that's obvious. That's 4. This is not 7 or 8 because we've got a 7, 8 pair in here. So essentially I have another 7, 8 and another 6, 9, and I'm not sure I can actually place any of them. Sorry, I misspoke. I don't have another 7, 8. I've already got them. I got another 6, 9 and a 5, which I can't exactly place. This can't be a 6. It would have to be either 1, 5, which it isn't, or 2, 4, which it isn't. So that is definitely a 9. The only consecutive one from 8 and 7 is the 8. That's a 7. These two cells now are 5 and 6. Now to get to 9, 1, 8 not available, 2, 7 not available, 3, 6 not available. This has to be 4, 5. That is not a 5. That's 6 and that's 5. That can't be 1. So 1 is up here. And then I also need 2 and 7, and that is not a 2 either. So this is a 1, 2. This is a 7. That's 1, that's 2. If that's 2, that's 1. Can't be 3. So we have a 1, 2 pair in the column now. And a 1, 2 pair in row 3. That's a 3. So this is, okay, bit of pressure now. I was thinking this has to be a 1. I'm not sure that's true. Essentially, the difference between these two cells is either 1 or 2. Okay. That can't be 1, that can't be 2, that can't be 3. It's at least a 4, but it can't be it can be a 4. Yeah. Because then I could put 5 or 6 in here with a 1 or 2. So 4 works, because that would be 7. 5 works, that would be 8. And 6 works, that would be 9. That's not helpful. And this is 1 or 2 more than these. So all the options remain. It is 5, 6, 7, 8. 3 in here, remove the 7 there. This is now 8 or 9. And suddenly we're slowing down a bit. Sudoku probably, I say probably, I mean definitely. Somehow I seem to never learn that lesson, do Sudoku while solving. And 3, 7 in here. Did I do that correctly? 6, 8, 3, 7. It looks right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Let's think about this renban. I've ignored it so far. So we've got 2, 3, 4. I need at least 5, 6 to get to the 7. And then I have an optional 2 or 8. I'm kind of assuming it doesn't branch and continue, which you guys might take issue with. So I'm not necessarily going to use that unless I really have to. I'm going to cover my bases. This could be 6, 7, the gap between the 5 and the 8. Can't be 4. And it can be 1, 2. It can't be 1, 2 because of this cell. This is 6, 7. Sometimes the white Kropke dot, I usually dismiss them as not very useful, but when you have a few digits down, they can be very powerful. And down here, we've got to use 1, 2, and 4. That can't be a 2. That at least. Oh, and it can't be a 4 either. This is not 2 or 4. Can't repeat it on the renban. And the renban line is indeed complete. Now, how did maybe I didn't count that cell previously. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So yeah, this is 4. That can't be the 6. This has to be the 5. This has to be the 6. 6 on a black Kropke dot gives me the 3. These can't be 1 anymore. And then I need to complete whatever these are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I need 7, 8, and 9. 7 has to be down here. And this is 8 or 9. 6 gives me a 4 on the X. 3 cells that add up to 8 or 9. And they can't be 2, 3, 4. So whenever I come across a 3-cell arrow, if 9 is an option, I try and see if I can rule out 2, 3, 4 because it would force a 1. And obviously because there's a 4 in the box, I can't put 2, 3, 4 down, so I have to have a 1. If I don't have 1, 2, 3, 4 is the only way to get to 9. And if I don't use a 4, 2, 3, 5 is 10. 1 is not here, 1 is not there. That is a 1, which reveals the entirety of box 9. Now, if this is 8, it can't be 3, 4. Essentially, we've got a 4 in the box, so it would have to be 2, 5. That 2 would tell me this is the 2, this is the 5. If it's a 9, there are 2 ways to get to 9. 1, 2, 6 and 1, 3, 5. If it is 1, 2, 6, the 2 would be here again because of that 2, and this would be the 6. If it's 1, 3, 5, well, the 3 can't be here, so that would be the 3, and that would be the 5. So that's a full pencil mark of the options here. And I was kind of hoping it'll force a digit. It hasn't. That's fine, I guess. 7 is none of these. 7 is in one of these 2 cells. So that is 3, that is 7. I haven't really ruled out that many options from the plethora of 5, 6, 7, 8. It's all still available. Still 4, 5. I'm just having a look around if I've missed any obvious clues. Here's a 7, for example, looking at a 7 there. That removes a 4 option from here. This is an 8, 9 pair. There's a digit which I should be able to place in here. I'm going to say it's 4. Yeah. Then I have a second 1, 2 and a 5. 1, 2, 5 with a definite 5. Right. With 5, if this is 8 or 9, the maximum now is 7. Is it? No, 8 still. 1 and 8 to get to 9. The minimum is 6. So this is 6, 7, 8. Still too many options. Yeah, not sure what's next just yet. This is still 8, 9. German whisper lines are kind of got all we can out of them. The renban is, again, same. Right. Sorry about that. I'm just working through what am I missing. It's not so obvious what's next to me just yet. So 1's not here, not there, and the 1, 2 pair mains is not here either. This is 1. Not exactly useful. Nothing to write home about anyway. mean, the peak of, I mean, maybe it's this arrow. 2 cells in here. Can I get away with 2, 3? No. So essentially, 1 and 4. 2, 3 would require a 5, which would break the cell because the 2 and 5 would be all in here. So I'm already at a reasonably large digit with 6, 8, or 9. Can't be 7. To get to any of these, if this is 1, to get to 6, this would have to be 2, 4 is not available, and 1, 5 is not available, so it's not even a 6. Interesting. Sorry, I'm just having a think again. So these two, I don't know why I'm going to use colors. I don't think you need them, but it just may help me rule out some options and force something in here. So I could do 2, 6 to get to 8. But if I do 2, 6 to get to 8, that would be 5. And I don't have a 2, and this would be a 9. So kind of that's what I mean by helpful to think about them together. So this is not 2, 6. It is not 1, 7. And it's not 3, 5. I'm pretty sure this can't be 8. Not 1, 7. Let's just think through 2, 6 one more time. That would make this 8, which of course would make this 9, would make this 8. 2 in here would put a 5. That's already at 6, and the next available digit is 3. So that doesn't work. And 3, 5 doesn't. So this is definitely a 9. And then another 9, and then another 8. 1, 2, 6 works, and 1, 3, 5 works. That can't be 5 because that can't be 3. That was there for the 8 option with the 1, 2, 5. So I think that's correct. And that it's 1 with 2, 6 or 1 with 3, 5. That looks fine to me. Now to see how to make the 9, it can't be 1, 8, can't be 4, 5, it can't be 3, 6. I think this is forced with 7 and 2. And it can only be in this direction, not 1, 8. 2, 7 works. 3, 6 doesn't, 4, 5 doesn't. Yeah, I'm good with that. 2, 7. That gives me a 5, and therefore that makes this a 3. That can't be a 7. That 2 has given me 4 and 2. And then these two are also solvable with 6 and 8. Are they? Yeah. 8, 6, 8, 6, 8. Lovely. Not a 6. I mean, we are removing a ton of options here, but not solving it. Let's just think about what is the rest of this. This is 5, 7, 8, is it? Definite 5. These are 2, 3, 6, I'm going to say. This is not 2 or 3. And here I am pencil marking a 5. It's 6. So that is not 2 or 3. That is a 6. These are not 6s. This is 2, 3 pair. These are now, include a 1, which are not going to be on here. If it is a 1, that couldn't be 3, but it can be 4. So let's just pencil mark the whole lot. I'm going to say it's 1, 4, 9. Yeah, looks correct. Can't be 1. Can't be 9. No way these two cells are going to get to 9. So that is the 4. That is the 1. That is the 3. That is the 2. That's the 9. Not a 2. Not a 1. Doesn't help me resolve these. Corner pencil marks can go though. And the 6, 7 pair. Oh, hang on. No, I've got all I can from them. 6 has given me now 5, finally. 8, 9. 8 has given me 7, which forces this to be a 1, a 2, a 1, a 2, a 5, a 2, and that's not the 5. In fact, not the 7 either. That's 8. That's the 5. And we're getting there. 6, 7 still not resolved. This cell, we do know what it is. It is a 9. No, I'm going to come back to these. Right. 2, 7, and 9. I mean, 7 and 9 in column 3. That means that's the 2. The 9 can only be in here. That's the 7. Then in here I need not 1, 2, 3. I need 4, 6, and 8. And this time round, not resolvable. Other than not a 6, not an 8. But there are no 4s to help us forward. Right, and these cells are 1, 3, which you can see are not down this column. So whatever this digit is, it's got to be a 5. That's 5, that's 4, that's 5, that's not a 4. Still not resolvable. The 1 and 3 also doesn't help. All right, so we need another 6, 8 in here, plus maybe the white crocky dot will help, but let's just think, what else do we have? We have 7. Like exactly lining up between these. Lovely. Oh, that's not 8. That's what I get. Too many options. Another 1, 3. Actually, not too bad. 1, 3 can't be in this cell. So this is 4 or 6, and this is 1 or 3. And again, not resolvable. So we have another 1, 3 and a 4, 8. Only the 3 and 4 could be connected with a white crocky dot. They're the consecutive set. So that's 1. That's 8. That's 6. That's 4. That's 3. That's 1. How's that helping me? Oh yeah, the 3 and 4. Yeah. 4, 3, 3. And therefore 6, 7, 6. Neither of these are 6, so that's the 7. And if I've not made any mistakes, 8 for the finish. Lovely puzzle, Negano 33. I think I was careful about assumptions, including making sure that I don't make an assumption that this is not forking and filling this in prematurely when there was a digit that could have been placed anyway. Don't know how I got to the 1, but reasonably happy with the solve. Go for it in the comments, please. And another fantastic puzzle from Megano 33 in this series. I know Fog is your favorite, so I hope you guys enjoyed the puzzle and video. See you back soon. Bye-bye for now.